Jumping right into the Fight Night Showcase, Ian Machado Garry will be taking on Carlos Prates before he ran into Shavkat Rakhmonov, losing a close decision. He beat the likes of Neil Magny, Jeff Neal, Michael Venom Page, and now he's going to be returning after taking his first professional loss. He is 15-1 currently. This is a super dangerous fight, and he has been taking a lot of fights with very short notice. I believe most of the last 3 fights he accepted were very short notice. He accepted Prates, Shavkat, I believe, was short notice, and he was supposed to take on Buckley on short notice, but they ended up switching around opponents, I believe. So they didn't get to face each other because he ended up facing Colby Covington. But yeah, this guy definitely has a heart of a lion for taking on all these dangerous guys, on very short notice, especially Carlos Prates. He's been knocking everybody out for the most part. He hasn't faced nobody I would really call like elite just yet. This will be his first test. Ian Garry's not the most elite striker in this division, but he is definitely a true test. If you come out and knock out Ian Garry, you are sending a message to the welterweight division. But as far as in his keys to victory here, he has really good calf kicks, low kicks to slow him down and to, maybe take some sting off his shots. But also, he does go to the distance. He has with Shavkat Rakhmonov, someone that had a 100% finish rate. So I believe he can survive to a decision, but I just don't know if he can match him on the feet. But that's the thing. This is MMA. We've seen him start to grapple more often. Like the Michael Venom Page fight where he mainly grappled. He almost choked out Shavkat. I just don't think he's going to be able to do that to Carlos Prates. But we're going to see, that's why it's MMA. Anything can happen at any given time. That's why we love this sport. But yeah, definitely using the low kicks to slow him down a bit. Using his distance, but it's kind of hard because I believe Carlos could do the same thing, probably better, faster, and with more power. So it's kind of like you're definitely going to have to grapple him, probably put him against the fence the first round or two, if I'm being honest, and really making him work to, take that stamina away from him. So the less likely you are to get knocked out by Prates. I'm just not sure. It's easier said than done. It sounds easy on paper, but actually going out there and doing it to someone who's been training hard for 3 months, probably for those clinch engagements and any grappling threat you present, because he does train with, Charles Oliveira. Ian does, in chute box in Brazil. So, his grappling is not like prelim or anything. He almost choked out Shavkat. So we drop him right here. But this is gonna be a pretty cool fight, I think. Hopefully it is, more striking than grappling, because these are 2 really good strikers, and it would be a shame if it turned into like a clinch fest or something like that. But I'm still gonna watch anyways, But hopefully we get to see these guys, in the striking match for the most part. That's what I'm expecting. Besides Ian trying to clinch up here and there, but I feel like if he doesn't have success, he will just resort to striking with Carlos Prates. But yeah, this Fight Night card is actually really, really good. You got Randy Rude Boy Brown fighting. Fortunately, he did get robbed in his fight against, I forget what his name, Brian Battle. That was a crazy robbery. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. That was a crazy robbery. I'm looking forward to this Fight Night card. We didn't get to have a Fight Night card last week, so it was worth the wait. Then for the co-main, we got Anthony Smith versus Zhang. I'm pretty sure I've seen this prospect fight maybe once or twice. We get to see Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. That's gonna be a good one. A crazy firefight between Michel Pereira and Abu Smagomedov. It's gonna go crazy. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. And we got Iram Aliskerov. He's also returning as well. Overall, a great fight card. Yeah, he ends up quitting right here. We hit him with a nasty check hook. Yeah, fighters like this that are just kind of just throwing stuff from really far, you know, just use your distance, make them miss, punish the body. See, like right there, you know, he misses that walking forward knee. So he was open to a strike he couldn't block. So that's how I landed the hook for free. But yeah, using those teeps when he's missing things out of range. The most important thing is to hit people while they're missing short-term stamina to the body. You know, if you land a body shot while they're missing that short-term stamina, they lose more long-term stamina. This is definitely going to be an interesting matchup for the most part. This is way better than Carlos Prates versus Jeff Neal. That's what originally was planned for UFC 314. But I'm kind of glad this happened because, you know, we end up getting a better matchup, a more intriguing matchup, you know. Regardless of how the fight turns out to be, like, obviously on paper, it's like a 50-50. You just don't know. I'm not... Actually, yeah, Carlos Prates, I don't think he went to decision just yet in the UFC. So, you know, he could use that against Prates. You know, he went 5 rounds with Shavkat. That's, you know, experience that you definitely need, you know. You have to go to a very deep place to go, you know, a hard 5 rounds with a very elite prospect. You know, that's in his prime as well. They were both in their prime. Ian Garry and Shavkat were both very young and also undefeated, you know, so. And he had a 100% finish rate, so that is really impressive. He was able to survive the entire 5 rounds. But yeah, he could definitely use that experience against Carlos Prates in this matchup and make it a cardio battle, possibly, maybe even giving up the first round and just taking it easy the first round or two, and then kind of increasing the pace. Or maybe he just clinches him up for the first round or two, starts to get him tired, and put the pace on him rounds 3 and 4. Maybe get a TKO from Carlos Prates being tired. You know, that's the ways I see him winning. But like I said, thank God we get to watch it. But yeah, this fighter right here is just being very like sloppy, just throwing stuff in the, you know, from out of distance, missing, making it very easy for me to counter, laying combos, just like this. For the most part, I don't really use. Look at that. That was a block counter right there. Basically, whenever they throw a hook on your lead hand, you know, you just fire off a lead hook as it touches your block. Yeah, this fighter right here was, you know, he was trying to spam like slip hooks, and he even resorted to grappling because it wasn't working. You know, I don't play this game as often, you know, because I got a gaming PC now, so like I started getting back into like FPS shooters, you know, like Battlefield, Rainbow Six Siege. Tried out Call of Duty, but yeah, that is beyond repair, so definitely not playing that no more. But I'm looking forward to UFC 6 for the most part. Most likely it's coming out sometime this year, possibly later this year, like October, September. I only hope. You know, I'm not too sure. I don't work with EA, but you know, let's be positive. I'm just hoping they fix most of the issues we have with the game for the most part, because dealing with this, what we got right here, this unfinished rush product, it's just crazy. Like the first year was basically spent fixing all the stuff that they should have fixed before the game launched, as far as in stamina, damage, and it was a big mess when the game first launched. It's in a better place now, but definitely ready for that next iteration of UFC. I just want that realistic damage. You know, he was able to flip us right here, but we're taking our time. You know, we throw up a fake, we deny left. Build our GA, and we're gonna take the back. Let's see where he goes this time. Goes left, we deny. Wait for our GA to pop back up. We get full mount. Does quit the match. Hope you guys enjoyed the showcase. Stay tuned.